Hello and welcome to WION World of Cricket. Sri Lanka face Bangladesh in Delhi with both teams eyeing return to form after disappointing World Cup campaign so far. However, all the pre-match talk hasn't been about cricket, with the air quality levels in Delhi raising major concerns among the players and staff. I am Vidur Kathuria and as always I am joined by 1996 World Cup winning coach Dav Watmore. And we also have our sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo, who will be joining us from the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Dav, it hasn't been the best of campaigns for both teams, but this is a match both of them will think they have a real chance of winning.
That's right. I would have thought even before the tournament began that they would be eyeing this fixture, and both sides will be thinking, yeah, that we can win this one. But the good thing for me, even though these teams are down the bottom, is that they have something to play for, and that's that Champions Trophy spot. So yeah, it looks like Pakistan will be in the top 7. So therefore there'll be a wild card, and I think these two teams have a lot to play for today.
If you can just take a look at the points table
very happy for
right
that,
now. Yeah. The top 7 teams, and of course Pakistan are the hosts.
Yeah.
They're obviously already automatically qualified. But so there's added context to that match in that sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that it has they got something to play for. Otherwise it's really going through the motions. It is an ODI. It's a World Cup fixture. You want to win any game that you go into. The reality is, that even if you win, it's not going to have much consequence. But it has more consequence now because of the the standings in this tournament that will enable one of these teams to go and play in the Champions Trophy next 2 years.
Well, Sri Lanka technically are still in with a shout. I mean, they have a number of things have to go their way for them to reach the semi-finals. Bangladesh all but out. Sri Lanka, what has gone wrong for them so far in the tournament?
Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
Sadly, they came in here with a subpar bowling unit. And, they've had some injuries, some nasty injuries to 2 of their best players. Hasaranga, we all agree, is a match winner, and his hamstring has ruled him out. And then Dushmantha Chamira, who is also a very good opening bowler with a lot of pace, was not selected. He returned just a couple of games ago, having been a travelling reserve, and then because of injuries, along with Angela Matthews, came into the 11. So it was a little bit late, so they were unsettled from the bowling part of it. Also, the opening partnership hasn't been that great. Pathum Nissanka has turned the corner and become a little bit more consistent with his contribution of runs, but his opening partner hasn't really been able to. Only once, I think, Kushal Perera.
And Mendes, obviously, the captain. I think the captaincy pressure, you think, is getting to him?
Well, on statistics, yes. As soon as he got the leadership responsibility, he started to fail a bit. So, Sri Lanka are 7th, but they need to keep winning. Bangladesh need to win this to also, be in contention. So this fixture, whilst it's not going to really have an impact on the top 4, carries a lot of importance and interest for me.
Yeah, and also just in terms of the morale of both teams, you want to end that tournament on a high, and of course that Champions Trophy is still, in a big tournament for these teams to make. It's the best 8 teams in the world, but I can't believe we're talking about England also, in terms of qualifying for the Champions Trophy, which is in 2025. So this points table tells a completely different story.
Well, they have 2 games to go, haven't they? And if they do win both of those games, then they'll have some sort of chance of being able to participate in the Champions Trophy. So we just got to wait and see. But as you said, everybody has been repeating the same thing. Never in your wildest dreams would have thought England down the bottom.
Okay, I'm told that we have Digvijay with us, who is outside the Arun Jaitley Stadium.
There he is.
We have to speak about the weather, and there he is. the big man himself, the sports editor outside the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Digvijay, are you able to breathe there?
Well, I've actually been here for a while and listening to both you fine gentlemen talk. But, I was apprehensive, and I've got 2 masks with me when I came for the game. I'm in fact on the Bahadur Shah Zafar Marg. If you're a Delhi person, this is one of the main areas heading into Old Delhi. But I must tell you, the weather's much better than it was for the last couple of days, especially over the weekend. Because you can see it's a clear sky, you can actually look far, you can see a couple of buildings from Old Delhi at the back as well. And as of now, outside, and this is a busy road, I don't feel any issues breathing. Perhaps this is the best time to play a game. They've done a lot of things inside. They've sort of put the sprinklers on, trying to reduce the air quality index, make it more manageable. But for me personally, standing on the road just outside the stadium, I think it's good to go.
Okay, and we can see there are quite a few people there behind you. So, I mean, obviously the pollution is a major concern, but people are turning up to watch what is the final match in Delhi, final World Cup match in Delhi.
Yes, Vidur, while coming in, I was thinking, oh, maybe we won't get a crowd here. But it's not going to be a full house by any means. But I've seen a fair amount of Sri Lankan shirts. I've seen a few Bangladesh shirts as well. In fact, I was talking to a few of them. I asked them, where you're from? So we're from Bangladesh, but we're actually studying in India. And we've come down from Jaipur to watch the game. And lots of blue shirts, lots of Virat shirts, even though India aren't playing. Even if you get a 10, 15,000 strong crowd over here, that's not bad for a game which technically has no relevance, but as you both have been talking about, it's got some amount of relevance when it comes to the Champions Trophy, especially for Sri Lanka. I think if Sri Lanka win this, then they sort of stay in that race for the Champions Trophy.
Yeah, Diggy, it's Dev here, mate. I can also, just on the air quality, the last 2 days I wake up in the morning, open the curtains in the hotel, and to me, I think, oh, there's fog, a lot of fog out there. And the fog has remained there for quite a while. But today, I have to say, it looked a lot clearer. And I'm so glad knowing that you were going to the ground to watch. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, yes, both of these teams, on the surface, looks like it's not consequential at all. Okay, it's an ODI, but playing for that Champions Trophy spot is very, very important. And again, both of these teams have had some interference from back home with their cricket boards. So, that is another little hurdle both will have to jump over to ensure that they are competitive and put on a good game of cricket. I'm, in fact, very keen to look at this game.
Yes, in fact, Drav, I think just one small indicator there is a slight amount of breeze, and that always helps drive away the smog, drive away the pollution. But it's good you brought up the issue, which is what has happened in Sri Lanka cricket, because that's something we need to talk about as well. Do you think you do stay in Colombo? Do you think this could have waited to sack the entire board, to get in Arjuna Ranatunga, somebody you worked with? Then mid-tournament, when the tournament's not over, it's still out there, there's still games to go, and there could be a potential ICC sanction as well. What do you make of that?
Yes, Diggy, so I may be able to break something to you, maybe. My sources have just told me that this interim committee may not happen after all because the President or Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe hasn't been advised of this. So it's status quo for the minute, and Shami Silva still in charge. I'm yet to get fully confirmation on that, but the Prime Minister or Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe wasn't advised, so it's on hold for that minute. But it's really, it's amazing how these things happen. If there is an interim committee, it'll be there for 4 months, I think, and they've got 4 months before they hold elections again. So all these things are happening back home. The cricket team is really trying hard to win their third match and qualify for the Champions Trophy. It's all interesting stuff that's going on.
Okay, I don't understand the politics, Dav, but just looking at the way this has gone about, you know, the board has been sort of being targeted by the sports minister. He's called them morally corrupt, ethically wrong, all sorts of stuff have been said. But essentially, it's a cricketing matter, isn't it? And is it a lot of pent-up frustration coming out here? Or whenever there's a problem, just let's get rid of the board and we'll write to the ICC and see how things unfold over there. Because this amounts to political interference. I remember a couple of months ago, there was a similar kind of committee was formed to look at allegations of corruption, and under pressure from the ICC, they had to withdraw it.
Yeah, that's true too. It all stemmed from the recent, T20 World Cup in Australia, where a lot of board members go to witness the game, perhaps more than what they should. But that's been happening all the time. I've known Sri Lankan cricket and other boards as well. So, as a result of that, they've not very happy with the amount of money spent, and also, the opening batsman who was a bit naughty getting arrested for, being out late with a woman, and all these things were pointed at Sri Lanka cricket, that they were doing a very, very bad job. And the minister seems to have a personal agenda to get rid of him, and is doing everything possible. But ICC are not happy with it. They just do not want, political interference with the International Cricket Board. So, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. If there is an interim committee, it'll only be for a few months. ICC needs to be informed all the way. But in the middle of all this, of course, there's still a couple of games to go for the teams.
I think it just seems like a very knee-jerk reaction. Yeah, Digvijay, go on.
Yeah. No, Vidur, just one point before you start talking about the game. Because Dav has this relationship with Arjuna Ranatunga. But Arjuna Ranatunga is no longer the cricket legend that he was, isn't he? He's a bit like Imran Khan over in Pakistan. He's a full-time politician. He served on the cabinet. I'm told his brother's on the current cabinet as well. How do you look at that unfolding?
Yeah, look, he also spends quite a bit of time in a year in California, where his son is living. And I don't know too much about if he's still a serving member as a minister in the government, but he's had a history in politics.
I don't think he is anymore. His brother is.
His brother, that's right. So it's very much, aligned to politics. And yes, he was a wonderful player, a good captain. This is a very important job, though, that he's been given the reins to, if in fact it happens. He'll have to ensure that cricket's in a good place.
Okay, Digvijay, just your final thoughts. I just wanted to ask you, because we've been tracking sort of the crisis in Sri Lankan cricket for a long time. I mean, this is something or the other, off-field issues always creep up, say in the last 5 or 6 years. But they just don't seem to get it right. And the timing of all this during a World Cup, making this sort of announcement, I mean, there seems like a systemic issue in the board, doesn't it?
It always has been. And I think Dav is the right person to talk about the financial problem. The problem is that the ICC sort of remunerates Sri Lankan cricket very well, right? And right now, with the financial struggles in Sri Lanka, with the economy being where it is and the crisis there, that's also a bit like what Dav was telling us about Pakistan, that everyone wants to be the head of the PCB. So everyone wants to be head of Sri Lanka cricket. And that's where the problem is, the control and the way the laws in Sri Lanka are, the control is always in the hands of the government. The federations are all eventually responsible and have to answer to the government. So that push and pull has gone on for a while. But I think what they need to understand is that Sri Lanka are not just any other team, they're world champions. How many teams can actually come out and say, oh, you know what, we have been world champions in the sport of cricket. So the structure is very important. We have seen talented players coming out. Even now, this is a talented squad. I can tell you, Kusal Pereira is back in today. But they just need to come together, have a structure going, leave the politics out of the day-to-day running of cricket.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Enough of the politics now.
Okay, Digvijay, thanks for all your inputs. We will, of course, see you soon. Hopefully, you get to enjoy a good game of cricket. And it's the cricket that we speak about during the mid-innings and post-match.
I have my mask. I have my 2 masks.
And a matching mask too. Matching mask.
Okay, Digvijay.
Matching.
Enjoy the game, Digvijay. We'll see
well done, Diggy. Thanks, mate.
See you guys.
Yeah, well, let's now get back to talking about...
Pereira in now.
Yes. In fact, let's have the Sri Lanka 11. And Dav, I think we have that ready. So, Kusal Pereira...
Did I get it right? I got it wrong. I had... I had Pereira in there.
Yes, well, that's why we have you here. And there we have it. The Sri Lanka 11, Kusal Pereira.
Number 3
in the lineup. Kusal Mendes, the captain.
No surprises yet. Number 4, number 5, Asalanka. Number 6 is Dhananjaya back, and I had Dhananjaya back. Angela Matthews at 7, Thikshana at 8, Rajita 9, Dilshan Madhushanka right up in the wickets column, and Dushmantha. That's exactly what I had. 3 quick bowlers.
Well done, Dav.
4 quick bowlers. 1, 2, 3, with Angelo to help out, and 2 spinners. Thikshana and Dhananjaya. It's a good team on paper, but they got
and they have made some changes, so there is intent from the side of the Sri Lankans.
I think that's probably their strongest team they can put out on the ground today. And well done so far, and they've won the toss, and they've elected to field again.
Yes. You're not too happy with that, is it?
Well, can I quickly just give you a little statistic here? This is the 38th match.
Yes.
37 have been completed, right? And the top couple of teams, they win the toss and they seem to get it right, but most of the others don't. So 37 matches have been played, win the toss and win the game, 12.
Wow.
So win the toss, lose the game, 25.
25 out of 38 completed matches. That's a very interesting stat.
So make that as you will, but I'm not sure whether you want to win a toss unless you really know what you're doing with the wicket.
And especially on this pitch, as we were seeing, it's such a true wicket, such a great batting wicket. How much does the toss even matter? You just have to bat.
Yeah, we saw the stats there. The pass score batting first is 296, and win the toss and bat first, win twice, win the toss, bat second 3 times. So again, that's pretty even too.
Yeah, pass score is 296, but South Africa, how much did they score?
Well, that's right.
428.
Yeah, that's what brought the pass score up. I think. It's a newly related. Yeah. Okay.
So I think we also have the Bangladesh 11.
Right.
If we can get that. The Bangladesh have just 6 straight defeats. I mean, coming into the tournament, conditions in which they sort of enjoyed.
The big thing here, Vidya, is the changing of the batting order. We went through this before. It's just musical chairs all along. But here's the top 7 hasn't changed, and Ahmadullah has been one of their better players of late. Ridoy, good, he's got another game. Shariful left armour, and Dakshin Ahmed, he's the quickest of the bowlers, and Tanzin comes back in. So one of their Mustafiz Rahman, Mustafiz Zur.
Yeah, Mustafiz Fizz.
He misses out.
The Fizz misses out.
Yeah.
And he in the last 5 or 6 years, he's been their go-to bowler.
Yeah, sadly, he must have dipped, unless he's maybe
injured.
carrying a niggle or something.
Yeah.
But again, on paper, that looks a reasonable team and evenly matched with Sri Lanka. But they haven't been scoring runs. And their coaches said it's nothing to do with the shifting of the batting orders. It's to do with...
individual performances.
It's to do with really understanding high expectations of that team. They weren't able to cope with the high expectations. That's what Hatha Singh has said. And these boys hopefully will have a good game today and show the coach that we can come back to winning ways. Yeah,
I mean, as we spoke about Sri Lanka, that the talent is there. I mean, if you look at this team, the players are there. Leighton Das is a good opener. He scored runs in the past. Shakib Al Hasan was one of the players of the tournament back in 2019 World Cup. It just hasn't worked out.
At batting at number 3.
Yeah.
But not this tournament.
Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, they can end their tournament on a high.
Yep, let's hope so.
Of course, and Champions Trophy, that's added context. Let's just also, Dav, as we always do, talk about the key battles.
Okay.
If we can get that up. Yes, there we
I
have it.
have Liton Das Mahmudullah.
Versus Dilshan Madhushankar, who, of course, had
Yeah.
that 5-wicket haul against India.
That's right. Madhushankar he's got 18 wickets.
Yes,
one below
Adam
Zampa.
Zampa.
Yeah, so he's got a chance to now, rise above and be the leader. So good luck to him. And he's a good bowler. He's in form. He's making that ball move into the right-handers.
Troubled Virat Kohli at the beginning of the innings.
Yeah, he bowled Sharma neck and crop.
Yeah.
Beautiful, fantastic bowler. And Liton Das is one of their go-to players to help them set the tone at the top of the order. Good player, experienced opening batsman, a very good one. And it's a good battle to kick it off. And they'll be going first up.
Yes,
Okay.
second battle.
Mahmudullah Riyad, he's the boy that, the most, not the most senior player, but a very senior player who wasn't even in the squad there for a while. But
And now probably you'd say their best player in the World Cup.
He batted at number 8 and then he came up to number 7. He got 100 against South Africa when everybody else failed. Still, I think he's got a lot of cricket in him. And so I think a battle with him and Thikshana, who will bowl in the power play, but he'll be holding some of his overs for one of their better players. And I expect he will bowl to Mahmudullah Riyad, and that'll be a nice little battle as well.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Mushfiqur
Rahim, yes. I had 3 from Bangladesh because I think Mushfiqur has been a little underperformer, in the series. He I'm sure, would love a lot more. Very much a sweeper and reverse sweeper. Can drive the ball, but he loves that slog sweep. But I'm sure they all want to get him out pretty quick. So hasn't been in the best of form. Dushmant Chamira, I'm sure we'll test him out with the short ball as well. He's not a big fellow, but also can be a very good player and a thorn, a potential threat to Sri Lanka.
Okay, next one.
I got Samaravira. Pathum Nisanka. Pathum Nisanka.
The fizz
but let's take him out of the equation.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's an opening batsman, so the opening bowler was certainly Shariful. Same action, left arm over. We'll be looking to dismiss him.
Yeah.
Pathum has showed us a little bit of consistency as an opener as well to withstand that new ball, and that's what he'll have to do again today. Under lights, batting second won't be easy. So let's look at Shariful.
Ball will do a bit.
Yeah, and his mate, whoever it is, bowling to both openers, particularly this guy's been doing well.
Yeah, and I think we have one more. Yes.
Sadira Samaravikrama again.
He's looked good in phases, but
a little like Ravindra.
Yeah.
He's been a bit of a shining light for Sri Lanka. He's emerged out of that group as a good player now.
Does he remind you of the old school sort of Sri Lankan batters in a way?
Yeah, he does. Good technique. Ramat Shah from Afghanistan, similar, a very good player. But Saqib Al Hassan, who is still a very world-class left-arm spinner, in the middle order, he'll be bowling to Samaravikrama at some point, and he'll be trying to vary that pace. Most of the time, no pace on the ball, and the danger is trying to make pace, and then you make an error in terms of trying to hit it back over his head because no pace to work with.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about Shakib. How much more cricket do you think is in him?
Shakib?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've seen him. He played with us in the T20 in Canada. Yeah. He's fit. He's if he's got his mind in the right spot, he can keep going. It all depends on what formats he wants to play and how comfortable he is with his family. His family lives in America.
Okay.
So he has to juggle work, family life, not easy. So but from a fitness point of view, no problem. From a skill point of view, no problem.
No problem.
If he's switched on mentally and he wants to perform in these formats, he can keep going.
Yeah, but he has had his issues with the ball, and obviously, with Tamim Iqbal, that doesn't help. So, his mind has to be at the right place for him to continue. And obviously, he's a very senior player. He might be thinking about, playing those franchise leagues because he's a top quality cricketer. He will get those opportunities.
He will, and those issues off the board, difficult for me to comment. That's interesting to read and hear, but you need to know a little bit before we start making comments like that.
Yeah, of course. Of course, Shakib, there we see the match is about to start. I mean, these two teams, I mean, both of them, especially for Sri Lanka now, they have something to play for. But Bangladesh really 6 defeats on the trot. You know, we've been waiting for them to sort of perform at the World Cup, but just hasn't worked out.
As you said, mathematically, you know, that Sri Lanka has a chance, but, you know, realistically, to me, it's all about winning to ensure that you get that spot in the Champions League.
Trophy.
And they had a little rivalry of late. In the last few years, there's been a bit of a healthy rivalry between these two teams.
Yeah.
A little bit of spice coming into it. So I'm sure that they'll want bragging rights. They want to beat each other in a World Cup tournament.
Absolutely.
Fixture.
Well, the match is just about to start. We don't see that many people there, but of course our sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo, he's got a seat in the stadium.
He'll have no problems getting a seat.
He's a big man. Before the match starts, Dav, I'll just have to put you on the spot and ask you for your prediction.
Yeah, look, I think on that pitch you have to go with the weight of runs. Sri Lanka have got, I think, the edge on that. So I'm going for them to win the game today.
Yeah.
But it's okay to say that and chase the runs on a very good pitch under lights. They have to restrict Bangladesh to a total that's manageable. You can't just say, dew's coming, we're going to, you know, it'll be easy to bat. They've still got to do a lot of hard work in the first half of that game to ensure that they can, you know, they have a target that they can manage. Bangladesh, of course, need as many as possible.
So what do you think is a good first innings score?
It has to be high 200s. You know, the past score is 290, 296. You have to, you know, get all of that and more if you can.
Well, and we see the two batters walking out. I think, you know...
Sri Lanka are batting first, sorry.
Yeah. Sri Lanka batting first.
Bangladesh won the toss.
Yes. And they have elected...
Yeah, so I'm going with Sri Lanka to put up a big score.
Yeah,
and then get those Dushmantha Chamira, Madhushankar, who's
the ball under the lights.
Yes. Sorry about that. It was the other way around.
Yeah, no worries. So Bangladesh have won the toss and they are going to field first. There we see the Sri Lankan opener taking guard Pathum Nissanka. Right-hand bat, 25 years old. That's a good ranking he has there, 21.
Yes, and he's on the
ranking.
rise. Yeah? He's definitely on the rise.
Got a good
it's
average.
A small outfield.
Sri Lanka, they have the personnel, and of course they also have, you know, a very capable coach in Chris Silverwood.
Yeah, that's right. But I have to say also to the people that this is right in the centre of the ground.
Yeah.
And it's the same wicket that that South Africa scored that monumental amount of runs.
Yeah.
And also South Africa, and who was the other one? They scored India. Scored huge. It's the same wicket.
They chased down, I think it was about 270 odd against Afghanistan, chased down in 35 overs.
So expect a lot of runs on this particular pitch, right in the middle of the ground.
Yes, and you see Sharif ul Islam is going to bowl the first ball.
Yeah.
Ooh, runs.
Yeah. Sliding down leg, deflection, leg by. 1-1.
The weather conditions actually do seem better. Just taking a look on the screen as well, it seems to be fairly clear.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Good day for cricket.
Yeah.
Good day for batting.
Yeah, so hopefully that's what we'll be speaking about, is the cricket and not anything else. Because, you know, in a World Cup match, you know, you want fans to come and enjoy, and, you know, want the family to come and enjoy a cricketing contest rather than worry about pollution and wear masks, etc. I mean, second ball, Shariful running in again. Ooh.
It's Pereira.
The ball does come. Well, Pereira, we can cut him a little bit of slack. He hasn't played that much.
His intention was clear, though. He wants to hit. That's good.
0.2 overs, 1 for no loss. I think over the course of the game, I think we have a few people from the office as well who wanted tickets for this match.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a final World Cup game in Delhi. Everyone wants to enjoy that, you know. You never know when another World Cup game will come around.
And you don't have to queue up for very long to get a seat.
And there we have the first boundary of the innings. Kusal Pereira Lovely cover drive, but poor ball. I mean,
Bit of width.
half volley.
Yeah.
You can't ball that. You expect to be hit for a boundary.
I tell you, people who do go there, though,
Yeah.
they'll get some entertainment. I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
tell
yeah.
You, you know. And you'll have the added bonus of not having to fight your way to get a seat. You know, you can stretch out, relax, and enjoy a good game of cricket.
Absolutely. Let's just wait for the first over to be done, and then we have 0.35 for no loss. Again, half volley. This time he couldn't free his hands.
Dot ball, okay.
Yeah. Won't be too many dot balls today.
No, not on that pitch.
Okay, I think, yeah, now we'll see you after the first innings. Sri Lanka are batting first, and they're 5 for no loss after 0.4 overs. Digvijay will, of course, join us from the venue. Sorry. That's it from us right now. Keep watching WION World of Cricket.